Howdy guys, welcome to issue 22, where we have got some paints, Raycar Flesh and Mephiston Red. Now, my Raycar Flesh looks like it's seen better days. Give it a good shake up. Let's have a look in here. It's very, very lumpy in there. So this bottle's on the turn already, but it's still liquid, so it's still salvageable. But as you can see, it's pretty gritty and lumpy, but yeah, we can work with that. That will be fine. All right, what have we got? Apologies if you can hear my neighbour's kid screaming. Very young one. Okay, so we're going to learn about Khorne, the blood god. We're going to learn about Mephiston Red and Raycar Flesh, and your first part of the core rules. Interesting. In this issue comes with two new paints, Raycar Flesh and Mephiston Red. These will bring some bright colours that will stand out on your models. And in this issue's paint guide, you will apply them to your Sigmarite Mausoleum. Future issues will show you where to apply them on your Nighthaunt and Stormcast Eternals. In addition, this issue has your first part of the Age of Sigmar core rules. These are the rules for your War Scrolls, and you will use these when playing through your games from now on, including this issue's exciting battle plan. Cool. Okay, so what have we got? We learned about Warrior Chambers. Now we've got Rise of the Wraiths Part 3. Okay, that's good. Then we learn about Khorne, the blood god. And then Gore and Glory. Scar Bloodwrath ambushes a group of Stormcast Eternals in the fiery dunes of Akshi's Volsur Sands. Blood will be spilled. Okay, then we've got paint guide for our Sigmarite Mausoleum. And then we've got some more War Scrolls. Night Questor and Dreadblade Harrows. And then we've got our battle plan, Into the Dread Forest. Okay, so let's get on with it. Warrior Chambers. Warrior Chambers are one of the 3 strike chambers that make up a storm host's main fighting strength. They are filled with retinues of warriors who excel at adapting into military circumstance. Warrior Chambers are the backbone of most storm host fighting forces. Okay. And then a rundown of the Warrior Chamber. Then we move to Rise of the Wraiths Part 3. Long before being chosen as the Mortarch of Grief, Lady Olinda has been cursed to an eternity of undeath by Nagash. Ever ambitious, the Veiled Lady refused to let even death halt her rise to power. In death, she came to rule over the same kingdom as she had in life. Okay. Then we learn about Khorne, the blood god. Khorne is the Lord of Rage and the Taker of Skulls. He's wrath and fury given form, master of slaughter and the embodiment of a never-ending urge to destroy. His demons and legions of mortal followers carve bloody paths of violence across the mortal realms. Grim. Then we've got Gore and Glory. In the vast magma wastes of Akshi's Great Parch, Khorne's followers battle the Stormcast Eternals for supremacy. Wherever slaughter takes place, Scar Bloodwrath, the legendary Khornate Berserker, rises to kill once more. And unbeknownst to me, I actually picked up Scar Bloodwrath the other day. So that is what he looks like. He's a beast. All right, cool. Then we move on to painting the Sigmarite Mausoleum with our new paints. So what have we got to do today? So we're dry brushing Raycar Flesh over the soil. Got some more Mechanica Standard Grey. Yeah, some more dry brushing of Corax White. Raycar Flesh on all of the skulls, of which there are loads. Dryad Bark, which we received not long ago, we'll go over the vines and that kind of thing. And Mephiston Red, we're putting on all of the roses, so that will make a decent change. to the look of things. Okay, so that's good. So it's going to look good. Okay, now more war scrolls. Each unit in a game of Age of Sigmar has a war scroll. This war scroll provides the rules and special abilities required in order to use that unit in your battles. This guide breaks down a war scroll in detail, explaining its parts and the terms used on it. Okay, so if I grab a war scroll from the last issue, that will help. That will give a better insight into what we're talking about. So if we look at number 1 is the characteristics, which you can see here. So our movement, in this case of the Sequitors, movement of 5, a save on a 4-up, a bravery for bravery rolls of 7, and then they take 2 wounds per model. Now this is showing as a Mortis engine, which is obviously very different. It's got a move characteristic which changes depends on how many wounds you take. Then we've got the description, which we've got here. So the description for the Sequitors is a unit of Sequitors has any number of models. The unit is armed with Storm Smite, Maul and Soul Shield. 2 in every 5 models can replace the unit's weapons with a Storm Smite Great Mace. Then we've got our abilities, which we've got here. So Great Mace Blast, which we know about already. Then we've got the damage tables. There isn't one on here, but on this Mortis engine, it basically says however many wounds you take reduces the distance that you move. It also affects how many attacks you get for your ethereal weapon. And it also affects the range of Wail of the Damned, which is here. And then number 5, we've got the keywords which appear along the bottom. So on here it says keywords. Every war scroll includes a list of keywords that apply to the model the war scroll describes. Keywords appear in the keyword bold when they appear in the rules. Keywords are sometimes linked or tagged by a rule. For example, a rule might say that it applies to all Khorne models. This means that you would apply the models that have the Khorne keyword. So yeah, if you've got some rules, so there might be some rules that may apply to either Order or Celestial or Sacrosanct and that kind of thing. So you'll be able to refer to your war scrolls to see if they apply. Okay, then we've got our war scroll for the Knight Questor and for the Dreadblade Harrows. And it's got their description of all their abilities and that behind it. Now it's actually quite interesting. So normally, if you get a normal war scroll, let me just grab one. So here's some war scrolls that I've got for Slaves to Darkness. So if we look on one of these, so here's one for Chaos Warriors. It would just give us the information that we've got on the war scroll here. So the description, the abilities, these are in a slightly different order, but it is the same. What we've got different in the magazine is on the back, it's got a rundown of what those abilities are and how they apply to the game. Now, this information, usually, you might have to refer to a battle tome, which is a book that goes along with these war scroll cards. So all of this information can also be found in the battle tome. So at the back of this, it will go through. Again, all the war scrolls appear here. Now, in terms of the rules, for those of you who don't know, you play Age of Sigmar, you buy a rule book, you get this ginormous beast of a rule book. All 320 pages of it. So you need one of these, These are optional, but they are handy because it's all in your battle tome. But certainly this kind of display here, telling you exactly what those abilities are and what they do, that is something that you don't get. Other than just reading the descriptions on the war scroll cards. Okay, right, so next up we've got Into the Dread Forest. The Stormcast Eternals have established a small beachhead in the forests of Kernethil. The Nighthaunts have infested the forests and glades of the Heartwood coast. If the Stormcast Eternals are to find out what the Nighthaunts plan, they will need to make their way deeper into the woodland. Okay, so we have got 9 Sequitors and the Knight Questor up against Dreadblade Harrow, 15 Chain Rasps, and another Dreadblade Harrow. So we've got them both there. This is the basic description of how we're laying it out and the setup. The first turn is Nighthaunt, so again we're not rolling off here. And then Glorious Victory. The game ends when one player has no models left on the battlefield. Okay, so that's cool. So what have we got coming up in the next couple of issues? So next week we've got an absolute belter. So we've got Liberators, which are the guys with hammers. And we've got the Prosecutor, this big flying model. So I've got Liberators already, but this will be my first Prosecutor. So I very much look forward to seeing them next week. And then issue 24, we have Lord Executioner, Grimghast Reapers, and Glaive Wraith Stalkers. Now, we've already received very similar stuff like this before. In fact, so this, I believe, is a sprue that you get in lots of different boxes, but I've received it in the Nighthaunt Warcry box. But that's very good. So it's very much more of what we've already received, but very cool indeed. But next week is a beast. I'm really looking forward to that. So that is issue 22. So I've really enjoyed that. Lots of good stuff. Again, dull when we receive paints, but generally the magazines seem to be pretty good on those days as well. So that's that. So I'm up to date now in terms of the magazines. Next week, when I've got some time, a few days off of work, I'll be recording all of my playthroughs, bringing them up to date, and I will include in that the new battle plans we've received in the last few issues. So thanks very much for watching, guys. As usual, much appreciated, and I will see you very, very soon.